Based on previous study on Bali, we calculated how this future may develop without controlling for urban sprawl. Its built-up area in 2020 is account for 6%, but according to its urban expansion rate, the urban area will increase to 25% without restrictions in 2045. Land use in urban areas accounts for a major proportion of carbon emissions, which means that by 2045, uncontrolled land use conversion and energy consumption in built-up areas will result in 76.5 million tons of carbon emissions. As for the 50.65 million tons of carbon dioxide that the remaining forest area can absorb, it's impossible to achieve complete carbon neutrality.
In our strategy, we hope that we can achieve carbon neutrality in 2045. Follows that, we propose 3 sub-objectives. And then we propose our detailed strategy, which is the densification and diversity. Our strategies are introduced from the 2 parts. We will put forward the overall strategy from the whole Bali Island and divide it into the 4 parts according to the different urban forms to discuss the specific strategy.
Cities from different levels will be connected, starting from Denpasar to form an urban cluster. Also to develop different types of functional belts for different groups to use.
The next part is about our land use pattern in 2045. Based on the spatial relationship, we emphasize the main urban areas in Bali Island, and we want to maintain those areas. And then we use the green belt to control the growth of the urban boundary. Secondly, we will increase the forest land in the whole Bali Island, which increase the area of the carbon sink. In our scenario, the farmland will be decreased due to the more intensive agricultural development. Overall, the carbon storage of the forest area in the 2045 will be increased to about 56 million tons, which is higher than the carbon emission of the urban area.
Based on land use, green space system is divided into the following sections. The National Forest Park acts as an island-wide carbon bank, absorbing carbon dioxide emissions and reducing climate warming. Wetland reserves are created on the suburban area to increase biodiversity and keep the river system. Linear green riverbanks are created along waterways to protect water and ecological resource and limit the urban sprawl. Ecological nodes are distributed along X to form nature landscape belt, linking urban and rural, and create green ecological corridors. The city and town forms a cluster spatial structure and develop along the X connecting each regions of the island. First is the great urban form located in the center of Denpasar. It is the most tourist distribution center and the largest residential population. The building here, almost a single family house and street shops. Density is already saturated. If not controlled, the city will sprawl out in 2045, so some strategies are used to stop it. By concentrating facilities and limited travel distance, traffic line is divided into residents, visitors, and eco-tourist route. For ecology, green space of different scale are used to constrain urban sprawl, provide green space, and address issues of rainwater collection from the whole to individual. And community centers are created in each street to meet different needs of residents and visitors. For architecture, low-carbon development is achieved through mixed land use, self-sufficient use of nature resource, vertical development, and the creating of greening in building. The community center is located in the core of the neighborhood with easy access to transport links. The building body utilizes a variety of environmentally friendly energy sources to reduce emissions. Horizontally allow for the share of the resource and vertically meet the diverse layout. The building is effective in gathering people and limiting the sprawl of the city.
Suburban is characterized by irregularities, local traffic fragmentation, and little green space in the community. Therefore, the reduction of carbon dioxide will be approached in 3 ways. Firstly, optimized transportation road network, road classification, set up jogging and tourist routes, and also encourage the use of public transportation. Secondly, actively use the local ecological advantage to upgrade the infrastructure, make the local self-sufficient, and effectively control the urban sprawl. Enrich diversity ecologically and allocate reasonably in land use, provide appropriate living space according to the needs of different people. Most of them are 1 to 4 floors. Outdoor eco-zone and art and culture zone are determined according to 15 minutes living circle. Despite the basic infrastructure, attractions are added for local visitors. The site will utilize a blue-green system to purify carbon dioxide, enrich ecological diversity, and encourage community ecological interaction.
The third location is Ubud, which is an urban topology that develops linearly. The first issue needs attention is how to meet the different needs of tourists and local residents from living perspective, and at the same time achieve low carbon and environmental protection. The second point is how to solve the problems of traffic chaos and narrow sidewalks, which are very important for reducing carbon emissions in Ubud. Then we focused on specific linear development design in small zoning area. We mainly consider 3 strategies. One is to strengthen the east and western connections and create a travel mode based on walking. The second is to increase the functional mix of the block to facilitate the life of the target population. The third is to achieve low-rise densification through the transformation of existing houses. You can see the main tourist attractions are connected by safe walking trails to encourage low-carbon tours. Its functional divisions are interspersed on the basis of linear development so that the service scope can cover the surrounding area. Then it's about different building functions. Because of the height restriction policy, we won't build a high-rise functional mixed building here, but its plan density and accessibility will be improved. The last is to classify greenery into different grades and give them functions to increase and protect the woodlands of Ubud and provide conditions for carbon neutrality.
The last urban form is clustered, and the Circularity town is located in the north part of Bali Island. It consists of many small towns and villages. In the Circularity town, there are still some problems in the ecosystem, daily travel modes, and the living sector. Therefore, the strategy of the area wants to provide a low-carbon urban area for the local residents. In the strategy 1, firstly, I will control the urban growth boundary, and the different mixed-use pattern and residential building types are planned to reduce the carbon emission in this area. Moreover, the green space will be put in that place. In the transportation sector, the smart transportation systems are used to analyze the real-time traffic flow and make the tightly management in the urban area. The second strategy is that the circle layers are provided to shape the structure of the urban service. In the area, the basic facilities are centralized in small towns, and people can access the basic facility within a 5 minutes walk from their homes. Besides, the central area in the pink line will provide more diverse facilities within a 20-minute walking distance. In the final strategy, a holistic green space built in the urban area within the different functions and scales. Besides, the slow traffic routes are established to connect the green space. Overall, based on the characteristics of the cluster form, the strategies will provide a low-carbon urban area for the local residents in the 2045. In conclusion, we have discussed our strategy from the whole Bali Islands to the 4 urban forms. As mentioned in the fingerprints, we hold that Bali can achieve the carbon neutrality of the urban areas in the 2045.